we can see that love is one of the most abused and misunderstood words. We mistake things like gratification, sentimentality, obligation, duty, passion, desire, and other superficial emotions, ideas, and conditioned concepts as love in order to fill something that is ultimately lacking within us. These distortions are also used, mostly unconsciously, as buffers to avoid facing reality as it is, by looking at the world with rose-colored glasses on, instead of seeing oneself and the world more objectively, beyond appearances. There's personal love between humans, motherly love, love of family and community, love for oneself, love for something greater than the self, love for God, and even love for man-made ideologies and concepts, such as for a nation and country. So what is love? How can we describe or define such a powerful force? Words are very limiting and can only point to it, but are not it. Maybe we can start by examining what love is not. When it comes to interpersonal relationships, we often see control games, jealousy, and envy, which is obviously not love, but expressions and behaviors based on fear and need. Love is related to emotions and feelings, but they can be merely based on chemical reactions in the brain that result in a high, where people feed off each other, which is also the basis for psychic vampirism. Many relationships are based on this feeding mechanism, which has nothing to do with love, but is a parasitic need resulting in codependence. Sexual attraction is also mistaken for love at times. Many people get into relationships for the wrong reasons, be it to escape their loneliness, to fill a hole in their lives, or feed off another person. For the most part, this happens unconsciously, and so people tend to lie to themselves about love and their relationships in many ways, not seeing the other person as he or she is, and not even seeing themselves clearly as they are. To truly love another person, we need to see the other as he or she is, without trying to change that person. That is the basis for unconditional love. But for that to happen, we also need to know ourselves and see us as we truly are, so we don't fall into the trap of illusory projections, which only result in disappointment and hurt once the romantic phase is over. It's about acceptance and consideration, being able to give and receive, to be externally considerate and not expect anything. But beyond personal relationships, the idea of love has also been distorted and used superficially as slogans. It is equated with being positive, open, friendly, not saying or focusing on anything bad or negative, to be always cheerful and have a smile on one's face. Of course, there's nothing wrong with kindness and friendliness, as well as positivity, but it must be based on truth and reality, not lies, self-calming rationalizations or avoidance, including political correctness, which only leads to complacency and ignorance. Some people say we need to be more heart-centered, loving, and compassionate. Yes, obviously we all need to connect more to our heart, show empathy and compassion, especially extending it to the whole world, beyond our close friends and family. But what does it really mean? Many suggest that we should think with our heart and do what we feel like doing, which mostly results in mere self-deception and lack of critical thinking. It's about aligning the heart with the intellect, intuition with logic, mysticism with science. Many people seem to force themselves into this artificial and superficial state of love through contrived affirmations and feel-good spirituality, ignoring anything that may be a threat to their positive life view. Ultimately, this results in suppression and armor that is manifested by denying the shadow part of themselves and the world as they ignore objective reality. On the surface, they don't even think that anything is wrong with them. It's very much a blissful ignorant state, trying to stay high on artificial emotional projections, avoiding anything that may give them a downer, and living in a subjective tunnel vision with blinders on.